Hello Statesman Nation, I'm Wade Steinloggy and this is In the Locker Room presented by Malcolm Lumber. The men's golf team picked up its first win of the year. The track and field teams hosted a meet in town. The bowling teams will be going to Ohio for the national tournament, and we'll have a couple of special guests in the studio. All of that and much more. You're in the locker room. Statesman baseball team entered last week's action on a 5-game winning streak and looking to continue that streak as Hannibal LaGrange came to town on Tuesday. More like March than in April, the Statesmen roared in like lions, went out like lambs in the opener, leading 3-0 early but falling 13-10 against the Trojans. The second game of the non-conference tilt saw the Navy and Gold get back on track and dominated Hannibal LaGrange 15-1. Zach Edgar going 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, 3 RBIs for Jimmy Blake as well, and Nick Bruns only gave up 1 earned run in 5 innings of work, so a big 15-1 win for the team, getting back on the winning track. Then the team would go to Graceland, returning to Heart of America Athletic Conference action over the weekend, going to Lamoni for a 3-game set, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and the action began in early on for William Penn as Blaze Spees gets an RBI single to score Tanner Badir easily. William Penn all over Graceland early, 5-0 in the third, and now Tanner Badir doing work at the plate, going yard, grand salami, 4 runs for William Penn, part of an 8-run inning for the Statesmen. And they run away from Graceland in the opener. Chase Stratton didn't need any offensive support, but he got plenty of it, and he takes care of business on the hump, getting not 1 and not 2, but he finishes striking out the side, as you'll see here in a second, in the 4th inning. Part of another big outing for Stratton. He now has 100 Ks on the year, as William Penn takes the opener 13-5. In game 2, as you see, Blake Badir going 3 for 3 with a home run, 5 RBIs overall, and Stratton 10 Ks. William Penn gets the opener. In game 2, not as much offense for William Penn, but again, the pitching staff didn't need it. Tanner Badir on the hump for the Statesmen. And early on, Zach Edgar providing some offense, as he will end up pounding a triple down the right field line. Lots of speed there for Edgar, picking up 1-2, and he'll actually be standing with the triple here in the 7th inning. William Penn leading 1-0. He would end up scoring, and now Nate Ball will drive in a run as well, making it 3-0 in the top of the 7th. And Tanner Badir had 3 strikeouts overall in the game, including this one in the bottom half of the 7th, and your Statesmen would pick up the victory 4-0 to finish off Saturday's sweep. Again, Nate Ball going 2 for 5 with an RBI, Seth Reisbeck 2 for 3, and Badir actually ended up with 6 Ks overall in the complete game. So a big doubleheader sweep against the Yellow Jackets on Saturday. On Sunday, the teams would resume the 3-game set, and this one would be a nail-biter for the Navy and Gold. Knotted up 4-4 late in the ball game, but a big hit by Jimmy Blake here, driving home a pair of runs as part of a 3-run 7th inning for the Statesmen. It's the final run coming across there, and then adding to it, William Penn ends up getting knotted back up with the Yellow Jackets, but up 7-6 in the final inning, and Blaze Spees would drive home a pair here, and William Penn would take the 9-6 lead. It got trimmed to 9-7, but closed out with the strikeout here, and William Penn takes the 3-game set, going 13-5, 4-0, and finally 9-7 on Sunday against the Yellow Jackets. Alec Myers picking up the victory, 3 Ks out of relief, and 3 RBIs also for Jimmy Blake, so big weekend for him. After a busy and unfortunately unsuccessful 8-game slate 2 weeks ago for the softball team, the team got back on the diamond looking to straighten the ship out, and they opened the week up against Mount Mercy up in Cedar Rapids on Tuesday. The losing streak unfortunately would continue on Tuesday in Game 1. William Penn falling 7-3. Abby Young going 2 for 3 in that ball game. But then finally the Statesmen figuring things out, took some unusual plays, took extra innings, but in the end the losing streak would go by the wayside up in Cedar Rapids. William Penn getting an early 2-run single off the bat of Alexa Blazik, little miscommunication by the outfielders there. 2-run score, William Penn with the early lead. Now Lexi Riccardi adding to the advantage, driving one into the left center gap. And it's 3-0 after the top of the fifth, excuse me. Mount Mercy would battle back, and now here in the 8th inning, William Penn trying to get the lead back. Should have been an out at the plate, but fortunately the ball was bobbled and Morales would score. William Penn takes the lead 4-3. Now it's 4-4 going into the 9th, and very unusual indeed. You don't see a lot of these, but 1 base for Sonia Reddy. She's got 2. Now going to 3. Instead, Coach Christner is sending her all the way, and she will take an inside the park home run, and William Penn snaps the 9-game losing streak, 7-6 over Mount Mercy in 9 innings. Sonia Reddy with the inside the park home run. She had an RBI, going 3 for 5 overall. Blazik, with 3 RBIs, and Kaya Harper also going 3 for 5 with an RBI. So losing streak gone there. Unfortunately, the winning streak would not last long as Grandview came to town on Thursday, and a pair of losses to the Vikings ensued, 5-1 and 6-1 for the Statesmen. But all of that aggression, all of that losing was about to be over on Sunday. William Penn taking its aggression out on the Peru State Bobcats over in Nebraska. And it would start off here in the 2nd inning with Savannah Fleming, a single up the middle, brings in a pair of runs. WPU with the early lead. Now up 5-1, Kaya Harper stepping into the box, and she would slam one to deep center, and that gets over the fence. 2-run homer, her first round tripper of her career at William Penn, and the Statesmen would rout Peru State in the opener 10-2 in 5 innings. Harper again with 3 RBIs. Carly Rose Perry, a nice outing in the circle, 3 strikeouts for her. The offense did not slow down, fortunately, in Game 2 as William Penn looked for the sweep, its first sweep in about a month in hard action, as the coaches get the lineups out of the way, and the offense right out of the gate. Kaya Harper going where she left off from Game 1, this time left center, she clears the fence. So no home runs in her first 30-some games, now all of a sudden 2 in back-to-back games. Now Lindsay Lambert, RBI double, would drive in another one. William Penn quickly out to a big lead, now 7-2 in the 4th inning, and Lexi Risa getting into the action. She's going to drive home a run here, finding the 5-6 hole. And your Statesmen up 11-2, and would end up holding off the Bobcats with another Mercy run victory, closing it out again 11-2 in 5 innings. Katie Springer on the rubber, she'll end up getting the victory. Lindsay Lambert going a perfect 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 4 ribbies for Kaya Harper as well. So the Statesmen having a much more successful week last week, picking up a few wins and starting to figure things out, hopefully, as we're into the last few weeks of the season. Other action, plenty of other action going on for Statesman Nation as well. The women's golf team headed down to Oklahoma to compete in the Susie Maxwell Burning Classic. A very stiff competition, a couple top 25 teams down there. And the team doing really well the first day in 3rd place, unfortunately faltered a bit on day 2 on Tuesday, and would eventually finish 6th out of 19. And Elise Warren would lead the team finishing 7th at 148 strokes. Also in action, as we had already mentioned, the track and field teams would host the William Penn Invitational on Saturday, which ended up being more or less a duel against Hart foe Culver Stockton, but the lack of competition did not slow down the Navy in gold, as Vashti Wabarocha would lead the way for William Penn as she broke her own school record, also won the event, and also set an A standard, or eclipsed the A standard in the high jump with a mark of 5'7", 5 feet 7 inches for Wabarocha. William Penn with a whole bunch of other victories as well, again in basically what ended up being a dual meet against Culver Stockton. And finally, the men's golf team battled some blustery cold conditions, as we definitely come to expect in the Midwest in April, but those cold conditions did not hamper the scoring too much, as the Statesmen would come out with the victory over at the Simpson Invitational on Wednesday, shooting a 304, and included with that always nice defeating rival Grandview by 12 strokes. Oliver Stanway led the whole event, with a 74. So again, just a couple of weeks left in the spring season, down to crunch time, down to figuring out where teams are going to place in the regular season standings for postseason, hopefully make the postseason tournaments, and also the golf teams getting ready for their tournaments, and also same thing for the track and field team. So a lot of things coming down the pipe. But when we return, we're actually going to switch seasons, talk about the fall season, as we have head women's volleyball coach Alicia Cleaver in the studio. So we'll talk to her in just a second. You're in the locker room.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I loved being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
create my visions, get the hands-on learning that I need,
a program where I could become something greater,
become something bigger?
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters, and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
She completed her first season at the helm of the women's volleyball program last fall, and she's getting ready for season number 2. In the studio, we have head women's volleyball coach Alicia Cleaver. Coach, please appreciate you coming in for a few minutes.
Thanks for having me.
I know you're probably in between all sorts of fun recruiting trips and et cetera, but let's recap the 2018 season, which saw William Penn get its first winning season in 6 years, and almost 20 wins, all of that. So give us a little recap of how you felt like it went.
Yeah, I thought we did a lot of really good things. It was good to see the girls get some confidence. And I thought we made a dent in conference play, getting a couple more wins than they're used to. And I thought, we made some strides. Obviously, it wasn't as great as I would like it to be, but I think it was a great step in the right direction. The last week or so was definitely a downfall, because we went from making the postseason to not making the postseason. I think that's something that kind of left a sour taste in their mouth. And so I think moving forward, it's going to be good motivation to kind of get them ready to next fall, step up, and those are things that we want to accomplish. And so it's kind of been the field of fire.
Definitely. One of the unfortunate losses that, as you're always going to have, there's always going to be attrition in all of this, but you had some losses with graduation, and Ashley Miller being one of those losses. Talk about the recruiting side and having to replace. There's really not a replacement for Ashley Miller, but the people that you were looking for and the holes that you were looking to fill during this off season here as you're getting ready for 2019.
Yeah, definitely Ashley is one of a kind, and we're excited to actually have her back to be a graduate assistant, so that's going to be nice to have her expertise on staff. But, she played a huge part of our defense, and so that was something we had to fill right away, and so we were able to do that with a couple transfer DSs and liberos, along with an incoming freshman who I think is going to give everybody a run for their money. She's one of the best leaders I've seen at that age, and so I think it's going to be nice having someone like that competing for a spot like that. And then, we also brought in, a handful of transfers, again, just for various positions. We're looking for pin hitters, we're looking for middles, we're looking for depth. Setting, we lost a lot of setters, so that's something we're looking for. We're really trying to fill a handful of positions, and so I think depth is something that we were looking for, but overall I'm really excited about our incoming class. We got a bunch of new girls coming in, ready to fight out for positions, ready to work hard, and so come next fall I'm excited to kind of see everything come together and see all the new and the returners kind of mix and see where we're at.
Are there any holes that are still left? I mean, I know you always talk about you can always get more depth.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as having too much depth. But are there any, I don't say lingering, but some people that are still sitting out like, man, if we can grab just a couple more at this position or this position, then I'd feel really good about where we're going into.
We were, a couple weeks ago, I think we were kind of looking for maybe another middle or right side combo, and we were able to pick one up, last week or so she committed, and she's 6'2", and she can play middle, she can play right side, and I think she's going to be a big force of the net for us, and I love blocking, and so someone like that coming in to do some more blocking I'm excited about, and so that I think we're looking good for the fall, and I think we're going to be bringing in some more height again, which is something good, so it's not just going to be our two middles, we're going to be able to have some pin hitters that can bring in the height as well. So in terms of where we're going, I'm really excited about the future and next fall, and to finally get everybody on campus, because it's been fun to get the commits and get them excited, but so we want one other thing we can kind of get everybody together and see what we really have.
Yeah, always exciting to hear 6-footers versus 5. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is, especially in volleyball. With the addition in some more height, is that going to change your playing style potentially for the 2019 season?
Yeah, I think it's going to make us a little bit more versatile. I think we're going to be able to do some different things because we're going to have so many girls that could play multiple positions. And so it's going to give us, some versatility in terms of where we're able to put Corinne and Dan, and maybe they'll get to hit on the pins a little bit. Maybe they'll get to hit out of the back row. There's just a lot of different options that are going to give us now that we're going to have some more height and some girls that can do some of the things that they were asked to do this past fall. So in terms of that, it's just going to be kind of whoever stands out and really makes it known that they deserve to be on the court and can really do the little things and focus on the details, and that's something we really pushed this off season.
Definitely. Finally, I know it's you have no idea what team you're going to have and everything, but what are the expectations for next year?
I definitely think we're going to have some high expectations, and last fall we were really wanting to just compete and really put ourselves out there and put us in a position to have success. And next fall, it's not just compete, but let's win. I think we're going to have a team that's capable of winning some games, and not just beating teams we should beat, but beating teams that are predominantly good teams. And I think we fielded a schedule that's pretty tough, and we're playing some ranked teams. But I think that's going to get us ready for conference play and really, taking it to teams that I think we should be beating night in and night out, not just competing with.
Definitely. All right. Well, thanks, Coach, so much. It's always nice to look forward a little bit as well. So once again, Alicia Cleaver, the head women's volleyball coach here at William Penn, where you look forward to seeing the team on the court in the fall. When we return, we will sit down with baseball player Nate Ball. You're in the locker room.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I love being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
Create my visions. Get the hands-on learning that I need.
a program where I could become something greater,
become something bigger?
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
The Statesman baseball team off to one of its best seasons in recent history, and the individual sitting next to me has been a big part of that as we bring into the studio Nate Ball, a senior catcher out of Moses Lake, Washington. Appreciate you coming in for a little bit, Nate.
Thanks for having me.
You guys are tearing it up, man. Great success this year. I know that's nice to talk about after a bit of a struggle last year. So let's talk about this year and what's going right. I mean, a lot of things go right when you're 29-7. So.
I mean, yeah, a lot of things are going right. I mean, we don't really have any problems right now, and we're honestly getting better as we're playing this season.
Definitely. The hitting, you guys are hitting well over 300. You're hitting well over 300. Talk about, is it just a contagious thing once somebody starts hitting well, or are you guys just worked a little bit harder during the off season? What's the difference, especially for you, I guess? Why are you seeing the ball so much better?
I mean, definitely coming in from playing football, it was a little more difficult, but yeah, hitting is contagious. A lot of momentum behind it, and our team is very good at hitting. Contact, power, I mean, all around.
And it helps, obviously, to have pitchers like Chase Stratton, who's already at 100 Ks, one of just a few individuals that's ever done that here at William Penn. But how much does that also help you guys on the hitting side of, hey, we know our pitcher is going to get the job done. We can go out. We don't have to press as hard to get runs, and maybe that makes it, again, easier.
Yeah, definitely when your pitchers are doing really well, then it definitely helps hitting-wise. We don't have to try as hard. I mean, it definitely helps to get insurance for our pitcher to get them the win and whatnot.
Yeah. You guys are coming off a big weekend against Graceland. I know not one of the toughest teams in the Heart, but you got to beat everybody if you're going to end up with the title in the end. But talk about last weekend, recap it real quick.
I mean, we knew going in that we had to win every game to be top of our conference, and that is what we're doing. The first 2 games were not exactly the hardest, but the third one was a little bit close, and but we did come out with the wins, which was nice.
Yeah. Any reason why that third game was a little bit tougher? Was it just a situation of they had a better pitcher that you guys just weren't reading as well, or what was the deal?
I mean, sometimes baseball is just like that. I mean, sometimes you're just not hitting the ball as well as you think you are, and then sometimes you're not pitching or fielding as well as you can.
Yeah. Well, it's always tough to beat somebody 3 times or get the whole sweep and everything like that. Individually speaking, talk about what there's only a few weeks left here, but what are you working on to improve upon, to get better, to solidify your game to help the team out?
Personally, I mean, just consistency, trying to be the best I can be behind the plate, at the plate, in the field. I mean, wherever they put me, I'm going to be 100% every time out there.
Okay.
Giving my all.
You guys have, again, you're leading the conference, 29 wins, all of this stuff. We'll find out soon about where you're standing, potentially nationally. But the expectations are different now than they were 2 months ago. Now, where you're at, just quickly, what are the expectations moving forward? What do you want to accomplish?
Definitely, we want to run on all cylinders going into postseason, because I'm fairly certain that we will make it to postseason. Have pretty much everything going. Hitting, pitching, we want it all running on all cylinders going out there.
Definitely. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nate. I know you got a busy week coming up. Best of luck, Missouri Valley on Friday, and also Central Methodist, the really big game on Saturday. We'll talk about that in a second. But once again, Nate Ball, senior baseball player out of Moses Lake, Washington. We look forward to seeing a few more wins the rest of this spring. When we return, we will preview a very busy week for Statesman Athletics. You're in the locker room.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I loved being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
Create my visions. Get the hands-on learning that I need.
a program where I could become something greater?
become something bigger?
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. Before we get into all of the exciting spring sports news, we'll talk real quickly. The bowling teams will also complete a very, very long season as they compete in Ohio for the USBC Intercollegiate Team Championships against all divisions. So best of luck to the teams as they go over there this week. Regarding all the spring sports, baseball, very busy week, and right out of the gate, Missouri Valley down in Marshall, Missouri for a pair of games on Friday. Penn trying to keep on top of the league standings. Then on Saturday, the team will be hosting Central Methodist in a huge doubleheader, Hart championship implications right there. Then moving forward, the softball team, 3 doubleheaders beginning with Clark on Tuesday at home, and then on Friday, the team will go over to Des Moines for a pair of games against Grandview, and finally finishing the week off at Graceland in Lamoni on Saturday. So very busy week for the softball team once again. Also in action, the men's golf team will have a really busy week. 2 tournaments, Iowa Wesleyan Classic on Tuesday and the Ottawa Invitational down in Kansas on Wednesday and Thursday. The track and field teams will have some select individuals going down to the Kansas Relays, very prestigious event down there. And then finally, the women's golf team will be hosting the Mike Fluff Cowan Invitational on Monday in Oskaloosa. So again, as always in the spring, a lot of busy action. We'll have recaps of all of those matchups, previews of next week's game, and interviews with coaches and student athletes next week as well. So until then, go Statesman.